A passenger flight vanishes in 1955 and returns decades later, as if time never touched it.
People call it UFO proof, time travel evidence, or the greatest aviation hoax ever told. We'll follow the story's structure and keep one question alive. Where is the proof? Human knowledge may be only the first page of a 1,000-page universe.
One idea haunts the story. A no-time gap. A tear where time behaves differently. The legend centers on Flight 914, said to depart New York for Miami.
It's early morning in 1955, the kind of day that should end quietly.
A propeller-driven passenger plane, built for a different world, prepares to leave. The story claims 63 on board, 57 passengers, and 6 crew.
Everything looks routine until the sky decides otherwise.
Flight 914 climbs into clear air, heading toward Miami.
About an hour in, the weather is perfect. No storm, no warning.
Then the legend says the sky flashes, blue lightning in a cloudless day.
As if the air itself is splitting, showing something that shouldn't exist.
The aircraft hits violent turbulence, fast and brutal, without a storm in sight. A single blast of light hits the plane, like a spear of lightning.
And then, nothing. The plane is simply gone. Controllers watch the blip falter and vanish from the screen.
They call the aircraft again and again. Only static answers back. Rescue teams sweep the route, expecting wreckage to appear.
But the legend says there's no debris, no fuel slick, no trace at all.
Officials reportedly label it an ocean crash and close the case.
For families, the story ends in silence and unanswered questions. In the 1950s, mysteries could disappear with the news cycle.
Years stack into decades, and the flight becomes a rumor.
Then the legend jumps. 1992, a normal day inside a control tower. A controller watches the screen, expecting routine arrivals.
A bright target appears, yet it's not on any schedule.
He checks again, still no matching flight plan.
He calls the aircraft, demanding identification.
The voice claims, New York to Miami. A domestic route, now over Venezuela.
In the legend, the crew believes the map is wrong, and their position makes no sense.
The crew insists they've been flying about 2 hours, still expecting Miami.
But versions conflict. Even the exact date in 1955 changes depending on the retelling.
The controller sees an aircraft that looks older than the era it's landing in.
He guides it down, because now the only way is to see it.
Wheels meet asphalt. The legend says the aircraft rolls in, intact.
Authorities rush in, surrounding the plane like it's a threat to reality.
It's the claim that fuels the legend. The passengers look, unchanged by decades.
They're told the date is 1992, while their minds still live in 1955.
The horror isn't physics. It's realizing everyone you knew may be gone.
Please. That night, the legend says, officials search old U.S. flight records for 9114.
Some versions insist a matching record is found, marking the flight as missing.
The legend claims higher authorities get involved, fast and quietly.
Then comes the classic move. Seal the story. Control the witnesses.
Some say the aircraft is transported to a secret U.S. desert facility.
The legend adds a final lock. Every passenger forced into permanent silence.
But the public version spreads through sensational publications, not official reports. Different versions disagree on the timeline, one of the biggest red flags. Even key witnesses change from retelling to retelling. Names, photos, and details drift.
Believers say it passed through a wormhole, a corridor where time runs unevenly.
In that model, the crew feels hours while the world burns through decades.
Others argue only a superior intelligence could remove a plane and return it intact.
Because returning it feels like a message, an experiment, or a warning. And every mystery eventually gets pulled toward Bermuda, whether it belongs there or not. When evidence is thin, stories multiply, each one filling the emptiness.
Then comes the secret project rumor, Pegasus, used to explain what can't be verified.
Skeptics ask one thing: where are the records a real disappearance would leave behind? 63 people should leave names, tickets, families, paper trails that don't vanish. A real case would leave official reports, yet the legend offers none you can verify.
Some investigators report the airline denies the flight, pushing the story further into legend.
Even stranger, similar headlines appear earlier with different years, like the story was recycled.
At some point, the contradictions become the loudest evidence in the room.
Because what if is powerful, especially when the universe still holds unknown chapters.
Time travel isn't proven here, but the unknown is real, and that's what keeps legends alive.
So we return to the radar, where a single blip can become a legend. It has two doors, the disappearance and the return that should never happen. Reality demands receipts, documents, names, confirmations, things legends rarely provide. Belief fills the gaps, because some mysteries feel truer than truth. If it's a hoax, it's a lesson in how easily details can be manufactured. If it's not a hoax, it's a hint that nature can still surprise us. Either way, the legend leaves behind one thing: silence where answers should be.
So what's your verdict? Hoax, misdirection, or a rare brush with the unknown?
Because sometimes the most powerful stories survive, not by proof, but by the questions they leave. And somewhere in the static, the blip fades. leaving us with only one last word: what if?